Hey guys, it's Michael Saley here with BAONG. We're back tonight with another episode of Mien Talk. Mien Talk is a series designed to bring forth Mien professionals and business owners with a goal of sharing insights, knowledge, and advice that you can use and apply in your life. So tonight, I'm super excited to welcome Susan Saechao. She is the coach of Dancing Moonlights, and she works with Iu-Mien Community Services of Sacramento. So without further ado, please welcome Susan. Hey,
Hi,
Susan.
everybody. Hi,
How's it
Michael.
going? Awesome.
I'm
Can you hear me?
good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. How's it going?
Great. Feeling your energy over here.
Are you? All right. So tonight we're doing something a little different. This is a recorded show, but we're gonna be live and we'll be doing a watch party hosting this, so you guys can answer any questions ask any questions at any time. Um, so without me talking anymore, let's take it up to Susan. Susan, tell us about yourself.
All right. Thanks, Michael, for asking me to be here tonight. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So my name is Susan Saechao, and I'm from Sacramento, California. Um, I am currently working with Iu-Mien Community Services as Operations Supervisor. So I'm just overseeing the programs that we have. And I also own my own business as well. So just like you, entrepreneur, yay!
Go us.
Go get it. And I'm, married with a daughter, and she's part of the dance group that I also teach right now. And so that's a little bit about me. I've been, I worked with Social Security for over 10 years, and I've left them because that wasn't the life for me. I'm going for my dreams, and working with the community. The Mutant Community is one of my goals and one of my dreams, and I'm making that happen right now.
That's so awesome. We appreciate. We're glad to have you with us on the show, and the community's lucky to have you too.
Thank
So,
you.
talking about this coaching. I know we worked on something in the past with the Young Butterflies. Are you still working with them? How's
Yes,
that?
with the young, yeah. So the Young Butterfly is a Mian dance group that was organized by May Sapon, and I just help her with some co-teaching or just help her with some of the dance moves. But it's really her group. And then from that, Iu-Mien Community Services reached out to me, and so then I started a dance class through Iu-Mien Community Services, and we do meet every Wednesday from 6 to 8, just depending. And sometimes we'll end early if the girls are doing good.
Uh,
But we are continuing that dance education. And right now, the group I'm with, they self-named themselves as Dancing Moonlights. So the cute little girls love them, and they're so enthusiastic about dancing. So I look forward to seeing them every week.
wow. So you guys have broke off. You got two dance crews going on.
Yes.
Is it supposed to be a battle, a standoff later?
No, it's just all supporting each other.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's great. That's awesome. Just and what's the age group like?
The age group for the Dancing Moonlight is right now 6 to 11.
6 to 11.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys growing the team or?
Right now with the performance coming up, not yet. I think we're gonna wait until after February, and then we're gonna start recruiting because I was be teaching new dances. There's a few events coming up in May, and so we want to start preparing for that.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so
Yeah.
we have a lot to look forward to then.
Yes.
Okay, and for anyone here that's tuning in for the first time to hear this and learning about Susan and the team, that was it, Young Butterflies was actually at the last event. That was at the Iu-Mien banquet hosted
Yes.
by was it
I'm at.
Iman? Yeah, that's a Iu-Mien National Coalition. So we did that holiday villa, and we actually have a video out on BAONGFAMILY, and I think it's also on Instagram too. So if you guys want to check that out, you can see the lovely young ladies. That Susan and May, right? Susan and May, you
Yes.
guys help
Yeah.
train. So they did a wonderful job, and they're just so full of life and and active.
Yeah. Yes, those girls are awesome, and the parents are awesome. Shout out to the parents who
Woo.
deal with us coaching and meeting up and long hours of practice, and the girls too. They worked hard.
Yes, I've seen you guys like have to prep up, have to change out the outfits. It's like doing like a magic show, switching out the
Yeah,
new
it
outfit.
really is. You see those concerts?
Yes,
Like poof.
Yeah, I was fortunate, I was privileged to be able to see that behind the scenes, how you guys kind of put it all together, and the choreographing, the logistics.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is.
Especially with
But it's
young
worth
girls.
it. It's so worth it, and the community loves it. And that's what really drives us to continue is to, showcase what we have, right? Because I know that the Mien dance has died down for a little while now. There was a group in Sacramento, but they're all older now, living their lives. And so now we're like, okay, we got to bring this back. And how can we bring this back? And the best way was, just forming a group and going with it, right?
I
And
love
just
that.
trying it out. And so we're still around after a year and a half. We're still performing.
That's awesome. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. I think it's just having that community, just any form of bringing us all kind of closer together. I know you and I have talked about that several times on other occasions, but
Yes.
I see that in the community that, especially now that most people are growing up and we're assimilating to, American lifestyles and culture, that it kind of
Yes.
it's taking us away from each other.
It definitely has. It definitely has. And part of being Mien is a community.
Hmm.
We grew up in a community. When our parents grew up, they grew up in a village. I guess I would say isolated. It's mainly Mien people, and they congregate together a lot. And I'm sure when you're growing up, because when I was growing up, we kind of grew up in impoverished type lifestyle where
Hmm.
all the Mien people live in the same apartment complexes, and then we come out, we
Yeah,
all play together, right? Those are the good old days. I love those days. And it's not like that for my daughter. I don't know how it is for your daughter now, but those were that was I feel like what being Mien is all about is getting together and just doing things together.
absolutely. It's really difficult because I'm always trying to look for programs to get my daughter involved. Unfortunately, she's very artistic, so she likes to spend some quiet time. But I know that she's always looking, trying to hang out with other kids her age.
Yeah.
And you nailed it when you said that. Growing up, we were poor, but we had a lot of friends and family.
Yes.
We had a lot of connections. There was always something going on after school.
Yeah.
You could go
Like,
run
hurry up,
outside.
get home, do your homework. We gotta go.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Got something to eat, some quick snack, or maybe don't even eat. Just run out the
Yeah,
door and just
go.
go
Well,
find
what do you
friends.
want to get there?
Yeah, the days of climbing up on someone neighbor's fence to pick cherries,
Yes.
oranges, right? Not something you should do nowadays, but that was, you didn't really
Why
care.
not, Michael? Why not? No, I was kidding.
Right? Run to the park with your sandals,
Yes.
just get wild and have fun and come back home when we didn't have like phones or watches. We would look at the lights, right? My parents
Yes.
told me, look at the light, look at the light pole.
When it comes on, you need to be home.
Yes.
Or if
Those are
not,
the days.
I remember playing night tag at night, and then you hear your
Oh
parents call your name,
yeah.
come home, it's already dark.
Yes. We played night tag until like 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
Yes.
It'd be pitch black, and then be like, okay, we can't find anyone anymore. It's getting kind of boring. Now go
Yeah.
home. Yeah, those
Yes.
those are the days.
Yes.
I grew up in a traditional Mien family though, and we really stuck close to our relatives. That
Mhm.
was a lot. For me, that was kind of like how it was. And then sometimes, occasionally, I would meet other Mien people. So,
Yeah.
what was it like for you?
For me, so I grew up in a Christian family. So, I guess my parents tell me that I was the reason why they converted.
What?
Yeah, so apparently I was about like I think 3 months old, and then I had stopped eating or stopped drinking milk, and for like I don't know 2.5 days, and they got worried, didn't know what to do, and then the third day came around, I still wasn't eating. And my mom panicked, and she calls my uncle, who was a Christian, and asked him to pray for me, and so my uncle and the church congregation in Seattle at that time. They came over and prayed for me, and then I got better the next day. And so from then they're like they're like, we trust in God, we are going to convert. He saved my daughter's life. And so from then on my family slowly converted to Christianity. So my dad was a shaman, actually.
That's wow.
He did not want to convert, and he was the last to convert. He fought it for like I want to say a couple years. Like he wouldn't let my brothers convert. It was definitely a battle of religion within the family.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, religion is a sensitive topic, and so I'll be careful what I say. But eventually at the end, he did convert, and now he's, like a true believer in God and Christianity.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Having a shaman convert.
Yeah.
Whew.
So then now I don't go to Mien church. I don't go to Mien churches anymore. But then he calls me every Sunday. Hey, come to church. I was like, okay, Dad.
So he's getting you to come out, getting you to
Yeah.
come up. Yeah.
It's like, okay, Dad. Maybe one of these Sundays I'll go.
No, I like that though. The Mutant community in Orville. The and not to say anything negative against the non Christian community, but things are different, slightly. Some of a lot of like the community events that are public, the Mien Christian communities kind of like lead those,
Mhm,
and a lot of the non-Christians get involved.
mhm.
But it's great because it kind of brings all the Mien people together, and that's what
That's
I think really
awesome.
matters. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know I used to always think I kind of had like that kind of belief, like, oh, if they're Christian men, I won't be able to connect with them, won't be able to get along with them because we don't have the same things that are going on, right? Because
Yeah.
they're doing the stuff on the Sundays, and then
Mhm.
sometimes meet out, and then us over here we're doing the traditional stuff, right? Because that's
Yeah.
where you really see all your friends and family members.
Right.
And you do like the New Year's, so the New Year's events and all that kind of stuff, and then the individual events, but it's a different type of community environment.
It really is. Like growing up, a lot of my community environment was with the church, not so much with my aunts or uncles. Well, granted,
Mhm.
most of my family members are Christian, like my uncles, but there are some that are not. And so I didn't see those family members as often. So
Uh,
growing up, it was like once a year I'll go visit my uncle in Stockton who is a non-Christian, and I'm like,
mhm.
"Hey, you're my uncle, I think." And that's unfortunately what's sad about. So yeah, I don't know how other families are, but like when you're involved with the church, you get really busy with the activities, and you don't really see other family members unless you really take the time to go and see them, because you're involved with the church and what they do, which kind of keeps you busy. But it was hard to see my like church, like family members outside of church.
Yeah, definitely. The clash of cultures that you mentioned earlier. That's
Yeah.
something that really was. I didn't, this is like 80s, 90s, and then in 2000s. I think nowadays, since we're all kind of growing up, right? We're
Yeah,
the
definitely.
like the second wave, third wave of Mien generations coming out, especially in America. We're kind of like, you know what? We're all Mien. Let's all just hang out. Uh-oh, you disappeared there. You
What
back?
happened?
Yes, I was just saying, like, as like our generation, right? We're kind of like more like, hey, we're Mien people. Let's all hang out. And I think that's where that's one of my motivations for like doing all this and trying to kind of bring it back to the roots. And
Yes, definitely.
I hope it inspires some of the young people to want to get back and get involved, because it's coming down to like even me, like personally, I haven't had a seat one or that kind of any of the traditional stuff in a long time. And even though I do miss it sometimes, right? Because the food is delicious. But I'm just kidding there. But like, to kind of bring back the community, the bonding and stuff, and it's just more about just wanting to get back with what I care about. So
Yeah,
that's one of the things that motivates me to do this. But talking about
definitely.
the backgrounds, what's something that you notice, maybe like a trend or something like that, that's maybe from like last generation to current generation? I mean, because you're working with the Iu-Mien Community Service.
A trend I think is just the clothing. Like I think that's a trend that is evolving,
Hmm.
but still the same. Like we always keep the puffy red thing, but then
Yeah.
the trend, it changes a little, but we stay true to that. No matter what outfit that we're wearing. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing. I see that even like in the Taimian people, right? It's becoming less like the traditional style. It's more
Yeah.
modern flair. Shout out to, I think, what's the Nye clothing. I don't know her personally, but I see the style that she puts out there is amazing. So she does a lot of like the more modern styles, and I know someone else that does that too, through Instagram.
Oh,
So they're kind
nice.
of changing the styles for the female, like, looks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
More
definitely.
adapting it to more modern stuff, and also so that way it become less labor intensive.
Yes, definitely labor intensive to wear the traditional Mien outfit.
Yes. Yeah, so the changes there I think is great because we need to kind of have that, right? Clothing to kind of modernize it a little bit, but also to have the flair that's unique to us, like the
Yeah.
embroidery, the stitching.
Yeah, because I felt like a lot of people don't want to, especially women, don't want to wear the men clothing because it's
Mhm.
heavy. It's a lot to put on. It's really hard to put on by yourself. And so I think changing the style, but yet keeping it the same, will
Mhm.
encourage more men, women to dress up more in men, to represent who you are in the men community, or that you are men, and be proud of it.
Yeah, I think even the wedding, especially the weddings, like the traditional, especially nowadays. My friends are all getting married. They want to kind of do the hybrid, the American style, have the white
Yeah.
dress, and also have the Mian traditional. But they don't want
Yes.
to go dressed up. They want to quickly swap clothes, like the matching
Yeah.
shirt, right? So I mean, I saw something that was just new. Like they have the head wrap now. It's all like bundled together, and you just need to put it
Yeah.
on your head
Let's put it
for
on your head.
the girls. So I was just like, oh, that's very innovative. Something
Yeah.
new that's changing up.
Which is needed because trust me, I wouldn't know how to wrap my head by myself.
Yes, apparently, yes, and I found out there are certain some of the older women that
Mhm.
are able to. So I don't know if that's right. The mature ladies that know how to wrap it.
Yeah.
There's some of
You
this
know
like,
what? Maybe I should. I was talking to my mom. We should have a class about how to wear traditional men clothing
oh, that would be
and
interesting.
teach young women how to do it.
So, talking about these services, I know that the Iu-Mien community does a lot of stuff here in Sacramento. You guys trying to like try to get active with the community by sharing stuff on the social media feeds, Facebook, Instagram. But what are some of the programs that you guys are doing right now?
So we have programs basically almost every day. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, we have programs every single week.
Whoa,
Um, so don't miss out. If you do, come on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We'll be there.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So actually Tuesdays too. I forgot about Tuesdays. So on Monday mornings, we have a senior group play bingo. We provide them light snacks. And then on Monday evening, we have the Let's Speak Men class from 6 to 8. And that's just a place where we are encouraging people to come and learn men, or to just practice your men more. So it provides you that safe environment. And if you like the men vocabulary, our instructors help you find the word that you're trying to say, and things like that, to keep you motivated to speak Mien, because we feel that Mien is a dying language, and even I struggle with it when Mien was my first language. Right, growing up, my parents only spoke Mien, so that's all I knew, and now all I know is English,
That's
which
me.
is kind of sad. But I do speak Mien, just not as fluent as I wish I could be.
Yeah.
Um, And so, yeah, so that's our Mondays, and our Tuesdays we have our Mien literacy, where we read and write Mien.
Oh, okay.
We
That's
teach
awesome.
students how to read and write in Mien. And then Wednesdays is our senior group exercise day. So they meet up, they just congregate, they just sit there, chill, talk about stuff. You know what older Mien people normally do.
Yeah, right.
and
Like
then,
to
and then
catch
we
up
have
what's happening. Okay, so you got Wednesday's program. What else is happening there?
we also have this exercise guide come and show them exercises and stretches to keep them mobile and active, and just keep them healthy. So it's all about healthier, um, just providing them with tools to keep themselves healthier, and more mobile with less aches and pains. And it's also providing them that space to congregate also helps them with their mental health, because I feel like kids are, our generation, we're so busy with our life, we don't have time to really sit down and talk to our parents or our grandparents, right?
Yeah.
And they can't drive themselves most of the time. So we actually, through Asian Resources, they actually have their bus guy pick up some of our seniors and drop them off.
Oh,
And so that's how they're able to get there. And we provide that service Mondays and Wednesdays. So now they have a way to get to the community events and bond with each other. And so providing that is a mental health check for them. And so, just the other day, this lady's like, oh man, that on your coat, you on your coat.
That's so true.
She's like, "Impiona don't go my that's how you go on, but that on your coat, but it's fun, But she said it's fun. It's just tiring at the same time."
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't really catch that, I'm gonna translate it. That's
Okay.
basically, the grandparent, they're saying they're lonely, they're tired at home. Going anywhere, traveling around is very tiresome. But they want to get out. I've heard some of my great aunties express that same thing.
Yeah.
Say the exact same words. Even my wife's grandma has said the same thing.
Yeah.
They want to connect, but they don't want to put the burden on the younger ones to take them around.
Yes.
So they're afraid to ask. But the
Yeah.
moment that you kind of scoot them out of the house, they light up. They become really, they're overjoyed to get out. Just like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something.
Yes. So being able to provide this service to the seniors is such a great accomplishment from, the Iu-Mien Community Services. So I encourage you, if you guys don't already have parents going there, bring them. It's a great place to just relax and chill. So they're there from 9 to about 11 in the morning, or about 9 to noonish. Yeah, Mondays and Wednesdays. So you can visit our website at iumiencommunityservices.org, and the information will be on there.
So we were talking about another topic, and I think this was really important because until you mentioned it, I didn't know anything about it and why it was important. So maybe you could talk about how is the Iu-Mien Community Services, how is it funded?
Oh, okay. So the Iu-Mien Community Services is funded through the county and through the state. So we're funded through the grants, and because of that, we can't just do whatever we want like a lot of the other organizations. We have restrictions. We have to follow guidelines. We have reports we have to submit weekly to make sure that our program is running the way that it's supposed to be run based on the grant that we submitted it for. So that's why we try to do as much as we can within the rules of the grants.
Oh, that's very interesting. See, I think that's probably one of the things that also kind of holds back some other people, because I've shared with you like this on other occasions, but talking about how we can try to get more people involved, get more people out here. Because one of my goals, especially with BAONG, is trying to get more of the business, right? A lot of the business leaders, the business folks that are to come out to share insights and strategies. And some of them feel like they don't want to come out, they don't want to be out there because they have that fear that they'll be asked for things.
Yes.
So they kind of hold back a little bit. And I feel like until you mentioned that, right, the fundraising and stuff like that, you guys are already fully supported on your own.
We are, yes, we are fully funded on our own. So we do have fundraisers because we are a nonprofit. We still have fundraisers, excuse me, to continue to support us, because there are some things that we don't have that the grant doesn't pay for. And so we still need funding to keep us operational. And that's why we have fundraisers. And so we're going to have a big one coming up with the Big Day of Giving, which is on May 7th. It's the Big Dog, aka hashtag Big Dog.
All right, so there's a big event that comes out. That's great.
Yes. Yeah, we have multiple fundraising events. So just check us out on Facebook at Iu-Mien Community Services as well.
Okay, so that kind of leads to this next topic, and which is another one which you kind of shared with me, is the Mien Census. What is that about?
Oh, yes, the Mien Census. So how many of you guys call yourself Mien or Iu-Mien? That was one of the questions I posed. Right. And wow, that caused a lot of talk.
Mien or Iu-Mien?
Yes, so Iu-Mien or Iu-Mien, right? So the goal, the Census 2020 is to help, and it's going to come out in April.
Right.
And it's going to be sent to all the families. So everybody's going to get a census. It's not just Mien people, but everyone's going to get a census. And what the census is to count your family, right? They're going to look at your family, see you. They want to know your age, what ethnic group you are, what your income is, so they know how to help your community or how to help your household. If you get enough people, like let's just say, like if we get enough people to indicate that they are Mien, or we want to make sure that everyone's putting Iu-Mien. So it's IU space MIEN. So we are uniformly identified. That way we can get funding for the Iu-Mien organizations, such as Iu-Mien Community Services or other people searching for grants that need help. Because, for example, like a lot of the grants that we applied for our arts program, we've been denied because we don't have that support out there. They're looking at the census and they're like, well, there's really barely any Mien people. So why should we support you?
That makes perfect sense.
So it's really important to complete the census. And if you're Mien or even half Mien or partially Mien, just make sure you indicate that somewhere, like under other and put Iu-Mien. So that way they can get the count and we can get the services that we need to provide to the Mien community.
I think you just raised a great point there, guys. To reiterate, if you're tuning in for this later on, what she's talking about is the U.S. Census that goes out. It's coming out in April. That's about 2 months from now. And the U.S. Census is basically to give us Mien people identity. If and the census is basically to help our local communities. So it's not just Sacramento, but if you have that local Mien community in your neighborhood, whether it's from my hometown in Oroville, or if it's in Oakland or Sacramento, Seattle, Portland, wherever the Mien communities are, there's a nonprofit there. And the nonprofit there, they provide a lot of services to the grandparents, right? And maybe soon enough, your parents. And those services will not be funded if we don't identify as Iu-Mien. So this is very, very important. And up until having this conversation with you, Susan, thank you so much for sharing this. I wasn't aware of that. So that's a huge, huge thing. Previously, I was just kind of like, well, we just can identify ourselves as a little bubble on a Scantron, But now there's actually a huge reason, and I was ignorant to that. So I learned that.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Yeah, and not only does it help just the community, but also schools as well as the roads. That's what the census is for, is to see where the majority of the population is coming from, whether it's youth or seniors. How they can help you is based on how you fill out that form. So make sure you guys do it so we can get representation.
Yeah, I'm tired of having to mark other,
Unfortunately, yeah. So maybe we can change that, right?
Yeah, and this is not just about like the grandparents or the parents, but also our children.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone has felt like this when you were a kid growing up, but when you were filling out a Scantron for some test, for some state test, they always ask you what ethnicity, nationality you are, right?
Yes.
And for me growing up, you only had options of Chinese, Japanese, and then one day Vietnamese popped up. And then another, later on, Hmong people popped up, but we're still missing on that.
Yes.
So it's about our children. It's about our children here that we're talking about, giving our children identity.
Yes.
Making them feel good about themselves. And who doesn't want to make their children feel good, right?
Definitely. Yeah. We got to promote their self-esteem and make them feel good.
Exactly. So it's vital, guys. When you see that census, fill that out, identify. And what should we put on there?
Put Iu-Mien. So IU space MIEN.
There it is. IUMIEN. So I'm gonna just put that right here and just run that so everyone can see. There's no dash.
No dash. I think it gets confusing with the dash and no dash. So let's just do, IU space MIEN.
There it is. IUMIEN. And this is going to impact every single Mien community in every neighborhood all across America, guys. So very important that we do that. So let's all get on the same page for it.
Yes, thank you.
This is a great topic to talk about. So kind of transition here. You've been working with the Iu-Mien Community Services. You're working with the Dancing Moonlights. And this is one of those kind of questions I always kind of like want to ask. Is there any advice that you would give to your older self, going along this journey, and things that you kind of notice? Maybe
to my older self,
a tip, or maybe for someone else that wants to maybe follow in your footsteps, wants to get involved in the community. Something.
Okay, so I would say follow your passion. If you're not passionate about it, whatever you do, most likely won't work. So follow your passion, because that's what's going to drive you to continue and push yourself to completing what it is that you're out to do. So if the like for me, like being part of the Mien community and working and promoting it has been one of my goals since college, right? So that's when I saw the need for it. That's when the Iu-Mien student conferences came out, and then I saw the need to promote higher education. And I did step away for a long time, but I had always had this goal in mind to help promote the Mien community. And here I am back living this dream. So just, I just always follow your passion and, stick to it. No matter what people say, it's going to be hard. You'll have your naysayers out there, but
Yes.
stick to it and just do it, because you will never know how many lives you will affect and what you can do unless you actually go out and do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that it really hits home for a lot of people, especially for some of us that are entering, our early 30s or mid 30s. We're kind of like having, I wouldn't say a midlife crisis, but like kind of like an identity
Yes,
resurgence. You're going
right,
back to your roots. You're kind of looking back, along this journey. Was it worth it for me to get here? And if it wasn't, how can I change that, right? Because we're
right.
we're always trying to seek, levels where we can kind of, whether it's like financially, positioning ourselves in life, but also
Mhm.
look at our spiritual health.
Yes.
And that's what we started in this conversation, having this talk, was about the community. And it's not just because I think that's one of the biggest topics. A lot of people say, if you don't speak Mien, you're not part of the Mien community.
Mhm.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's not true.
You know, I think that you can still be part Mien because of where you identify.
Yes.
I mean, the
And
same people
then,
said,
where you get your support from. Just because you don't speak Mien doesn't mean that you weren't grown up in a Mien community that did support you,
yeah,
and you could always support them back. Just it doesn't matter. And even if you're not Mien, you can support any community out there.
yeah, I think that's a huge one right there because when we look at other communities that are like thriving, right? They've created, they created opportunities out of that. You look at like say the African American community, right? There's all sorts of diverse people, right? You have Mexican, African American, and then you have Caucasian, African American, right? You have all these people, but they all identify with Black culture, and
Yeah,
Black culture has their own unique stuff. They've got rap, hip hop, and they got these programs, right?
yeah.
And I just
And
kind
look
of look
how
at
big they
that.
are.
Yeah, yeah, they've created their own life out of that.
Yes,
And I think right now we're kind of like we're just starting to make these small steps towards it. We
yeah,
have we have Mien professionals, Mien business owners. We also have Mien artists, right?
yes.
Were you at that Stones event that happened
I
recently?
was.
Oh, you were? Oh, yeah, that's right. You were there.
Same,
Yeah.
Michael. You forgot already?
That was a night. That was a crazy night. We
It
had
was
fun.
definitely fun. Yeah.
But just at that event that we had a lot of people, come together. We had all these great artists come out there, right? We had
Yeah.
Serena, we had Tiffy, we had DJD out there,
Yes.
we had Mientan, of course, and I can't forget Sheena was there,
No.
and Dr. Joe of Kambang came on stage, right? Hopefully, I'm not missing anyone else, but we had a lot of people come out there, and the crowd there was there, and you know, it wasn't all just me. There actually wasn't much Mien. I would say maybe about 20% of the performers were speaking in actual Mien, but
Yeah.
most of it was in English,
Yep.
right? And if you looked around, if you asked anyone that was there at that event, everyone was having a great time. Everyone was connecting, bonding. You know,
Yes.
I
It
think,
definitely was fun. It didn't matter who you were or who was there or who was performing. The
yeah,
vibe was there, and everyone was, like supporting each other. Like
hmm
it didn't matter who was performing. They were just cheering them on, and it was just all awesome.
yeah. I mean, I think Third World Records, with DJD, they actually released a kind of like aftermath video, and that was something that's really cool. If you haven't checked out,
Oh
go look up
wow.
Third
I
World
haven't seen it.
Records.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, look it up on Facebook. Third World Records. They have the aftermath video. It was really well done, put together. They did a great job of it, and it's like that kind of stuff. Like if we all just kind of put a little bit of our, effort or time to kind of committing to some things, I think we can take the community to a whole nother level.
Definitely.
So that's kind of like it. My insights in some of this, but I don't have anything else here to share. Is there anything you want to share with us? Something you want us to know? Maybe something you're
Um,
excited about?
Yeah, definitely. Iu-Mien Community Services has a few events coming up. February 15th, which is a Saturday, we have our New Year celebration from 9:30 to 1 o'clock, and it's open to the public. So come by, say hi. We're going to have the Young Butterflies there and the Dancing Moonlights, as
All
well
right.
as well as other performers there. So it's going to be a fun event. And we're also going to have some vendors there, such as Michael.
We'll be out there. Come support us,
So
guys.
Michael will be out there. Come by and say hi to Michael. Chit
Yeah.
chat with him for a little bit. But he is going to be there with his BAONG merchandise.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of merchandise out there. We have the new leggings. So a lot of people that have been wanting to see these leggings, we kind of teased it on Instagram.
Oh man.
The new leggings are out. The ladies love it. The feedback has been wonderful. It fits the style that's more modern. So you kind of get like the black and the colors.
Oh
And
man, I'm
we
excited
kind of
to
like
see it.
we made the theme kind of like for like north and south. So you know how like I think the on in the north it's kind of like bluish. It's got some of
Uh-huh.
the colors to go with it, and in the south it's got the black and the other colors.
Oh, okay, like
So
more
like
reddish color.
yeah, and if you have some like the outfits and stuff like that, you can match it with the leggings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing that on the 15th.
yeah.
Yeah,
We won't have every size available because it's kind of hard for us to kind of hold inventory. We
yeah.
actually don't want to hold any inventory, but we'll have a couple sizes available for
Oh,
those who want to get it first come first serve. And if
yes.
you guys want to pre-order, you can go visit our website BAONGFAMILY.com and place an order. So
Yes.
that's the
Yeah.
other way to get it.
Awesome.
Uh,
Thank you, Michael.
yeah. So
And
that's it for tonight, guys. We've had a great show here. Thank you so much, Susan, for coming on and
all
sharing.
right. Thank you,
So
Michael, for your time.
thank you. All right, so until then, bye, guys.
All right. Bye.